What if I told you the biggest economic fight in America doesn't happen in Congress or during elections? It happens every single day between two very different worlds, Wall Street and Main Street. One side plays with billions, the other scrapes by with cents. One gets bailouts, the other gets blamed. Today, we're diving into the real battle shaping your paycheck, your future, and the future of America itself. So buckle up, because this is the story of two Americas and why the stakes have never been higher. Segment 1. The two sides of America. Wall Street is the symbol of corporate power, big banks, hedge funds, the stock market. Main Street, that's your neighborhood diner, your mechanic, your family-run store. Once upon a time, they were connected. Wall Street funded businesses, and Main Street created jobs. But over time, something snapped. By the 1980s, deregulation and globalization shifted power to Wall Street. Their wealth exploded. Meanwhile, Main Street faced wage stagnation, outsourcing, and the slow erosion of financial security. Segment 2. How the Fed tips the scale. The Federal Reserve is supposed to manage the economy. But when the economy shakes, who gets the life jacket first? When the Fed cuts interest rates or buys bonds, money floods into Wall Street, boosting asset prices, investor confidence, and corporate profits. That helps those who own assets, usually the wealthiest Americans. Main Street, they wait for the trickle down. But often, it never comes. This is why so many feel like the system favors capital over labor, and they're right. Segment 3. COVID's economic gut punch. The pandemic made everything crystal clear. Wall Street got a full Fed rescue. Markets rebounded fast. Billionaires saw record gains. Main Street struggled with delays in small business loans, lost jobs, and record closures. Essential workers risked their lives for wages that barely paid the rent. The contrast was brutal. The markets soared while the real economy sank. Segment 4. The wealth gap is out of control. Since 1990, the top 1% gained 7 times more wealth than the bottom 50%. Why? Because the top invests in stocks and real estate while the rest rely on wages, and wages haven't kept up. The result? An America where the ultra-rich thrive on capital gains and everyday Americans fall behind despite working harder than ever. Segment 5. Wall Street thinks it's the solution. To be fair, Wall Street argues that their capital powers innovation, that without them, Main Street couldn't grow. And that's partially true. Capital markets do matter. But what happens when the profits are private and the losses are public? That's the problem. Wall Street gets saved when it crashes, but Main Street gets told to tighten the belt. Segment 6. Main Street fights back. Here's the good news. Main Street isn't giving up. We're seeing small business revivals, local investing, people supporting local economies, unions are returning. Young entrepreneurs are creating side hustles and digital storefronts. Communities are choosing to buy local and reject the big box system. Main Street is building its own version of the future. Segment 7. The policy problem. But here's the roadblock. The rules are still built for Wall Street, from tax loopholes to corporate lobbying. It's hard for Main Street to get ahead without big policy change. Some suggest wealth taxes, universal basic income, or stronger antitrust laws. Others push for healthcare reform and better labor protections. But none of it works unless politicians stop dancing to Wall Street's tune. Segment 8. The generational divide. This divide is generational too. Young Americans are entering adulthood with student debt, unaffordable housing, and a distrust of Wall Street. They're building new paths: crypto, freelancing, creator economies, because the old paths don't work anymore. They're not just changing the system, they're walking away from it. Segment 9. The risk. If nothing changes, if this imbalance keeps growing, the risks are real. Economic inequality fuels political division. Social unrest grows. Trust in democracy weakens. History shows us what happens when systems favor the few. It doesn't end well. Segment 10. Can Wall Street and Main Street coexist? But here's the hopeful truth: this doesn't have to be a fight to the death. Wall Street can fund Main Street. Capital can flow into communities. We just need accountability, fairness, and a shift in priorities. A thriving economy doesn't just benefit the wealthy, it uplifts the whole nation. Wall Street and Main Street are both part of America's story, but right now, only one is winning. If we want a fairer future, we have to speak up, show up, and push for change. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe for more sharp financial insight, and drop a comment below. Do you think the economy works for you or against you? Thanks for watching. This is Profit Powerhouse, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.